If you're a BookToker who wants to do brand deals, you need to understand that the industry has changed dramatically over the last few years. Now, I'm a multi-time best-selling author. I am a professional influencer. I've been working with this industry for a really long time, and I teach professionally how to influence. And so I've been watching the community change over the last few years, both in my accounts and in my students' and members' accounts as well. We are actively watching just how dramatic this shift is. I used to make a ton of money influencing in the book space. I would represent other authors' books, other publishers' books, and I made good money a few years ago. But now that I have bigger numbers and I'm still making really good content, still doing all the same things, I'm making less money and I'm getting less bookings because there are so many other options available to people. We're seeing more and more people create content, more and more places for ads. We're seeing so much that we can do that doesn't necessarily involve the one or two elite book talkers that we used to have. So you can still get into this industry and make some money and make an impact, but it's not going to be the same as what it used to be. And in order to make the money that I used to make, I would have to take on way more ad placements. I would have to have a lot more people in because now I can charge less. I cannot charge the same amount that I used to. I used to make really good money and I was well deserved for the money that I made. And what I charged was well under industry standard. But I still can't charge that much now because it's just not feasible. It's just not logical. And if I kept charging those prices, I would not get any of those placements. So going into this, you have to understand it is much harder to get the jobs and you have to charge less for the jobs. Now, I'm not saying to undervalue yourself just to undercut, but you have to understand and we're just going to do simple math today, so not real numbers, but whereas you used to be able to charge like $1,000 for an ad, maybe you can charge $200 now. It is a dramatic difference. If you used to make several hundred on a TikTok placement, now you can only charge $100 or $200. Maybe it's less. And a lot of people think it's based on the number of followers you have. It is actually not. So you don't have to go into this thinking, well, I have to have 1 million followers. No, you don't. In fact, that actually works against you in a lot of cases. We are looking not for vanity metrics. We are looking for your engagement rates. We do not want people with high followers, but a low engagement rate. We want people who have good, valuable engagement. So again, easy math. I would rather hire someone with 10 followers and 9 of those 10 followers buy a book because they recommend it instead of hiring somebody with 100 followers and only having 10 of those followers buy my book. We're looking for the engagement rates. I would rather hire 2 or 3 small people and have them represent me to their highly involved people than to hire one big name person and only have it engage with so many people, having a lower number of people that are going to buy it. The higher you grow in numbers, the harder it is for you to have an engagement rate. So as you go up in followers, you're going down in engagement rate. We expect that. We know that that's going to happen. So as authors and as publishers, we're hiring people who are going to best represent us and convert those sales. I don't care how many followers you have. I care how many conversions you get me. So if I'm going to pay you to market my book, you have to have a highly involved audience who takes your suggestions, not only as they said it's good, so maybe I'll look into it sometime, but as they said it's good. I know from past experience, they've given me really good recommendations. Let me go pre-order that book now. I need you to get action. And I need you to get it taken right now. So we're looking for people who have highly engaged audiences. It is better to have a small group of people that you can convert into sales than to have a high number of people that maybe will get some views and maybe won't. So jumping into the world of sponsorships and brand deals, you need to go through the process of understanding the business side of things. Now, we're not going to get too deep into it on this video, but I have tons, like a full playlist of tutorials on how to thrive as an influencer over on my main channel. So that's youtube.com/KMRobinson. I will link it in the caption for you. This is going to allow you to grow as an influencer. So we talk about technology. We talk about using the social platforms. We talk about how to run your business as an influencer. You got to understand the legal side of it. You need to have all of the things that are going to enable me to make a good choice and a comfortable choice with hiring you to represent my book. You should have a website. You should have, your media kits and your rates. You should have all of those things that are going to help me to look at you and say, yes, This person speaks about my type of books. They have a qualified audience that they frequently speak to. This is probably a good fit for me to work with. So I'm going to be looking for people who fit my style of book. If you're just talking about anything willy-nilly, that's fine, but that's not going to be as valuable to me as somebody who specifically talks on my genre. So again, we're going with the easy math theory here today. So we're going to go easy genres here. Let's say I exclusively write young adult fantasy books. I would do better going with somebody who always talks about young adult fantasy books instead of somebody who talks about young adult fantasy and sci-fi and new adult and mysteries and thrillers and some middle grades, because that's all over the map. So if a person talks about all of the things all of the time, that is a lower audience for me. But if they talk about one specific thing all the time, that's a higher or a hotter audience for me. I would rather go to the person who exclusively talks about my genre than the person who talks about a little bit of everything, because the people who follow the person with the one thing are the super fans. They're the ones that are more likely to jump on board rather than people who are just here and there doing a little bit of what that person is talking about. So be aware that the more niche down you can get, the better you're going to do. And then you need to have examples. You need to have content where you are actively marketing books, where you are giving book recommendations, not just things that people pay for, but go in and have those conversations about the books that you love, the things that you are recommending, and be smart about how you do it. Now, we have videos here on the channel. We have our book review journal that helps you go through it and align your thoughts about a book to write a highly qualified book review. Book reviews, TikToks, conversations on social media is not meant to be about your opinion. Nobody wants your opinion on what you thought or felt about it. People want to know how they're going to feel about it. So your content needs to be able to help people make decisions. It's not, I thought this and I felt this. It's, if you like this, you're going to like this book. If you don't like this kind of thing, maybe this is not the book for you. You're doing this with the mindset of helping the other person make the decision. Think about it. Let's take a step back. I want you to think about it in terms of other reviews on Amazon. Book reviews, people kind of think is my opinion and I feel like this, when it's not. It's how to help another person make the decision to buy or not to buy. So instead of thinking of it as a book, think of it as a vacuum cleaner. You bought a vacuum cleaner from Amazon and you're doing a review. Are you going to say, well, I didn't like the color and the noise was not what I wanted it to be? You're going to say, if you want a low noise vacuum cleaner, this one is probably not for you. It is kind of on the loud side. If you like to be able to attach the different attachments to it to do different things in your house, this one has a lot of them, but it does mean a lot of like switching things in and out. It has a cord that's long enough to get across my entire house. So if you've got a big house, this is going to be a good one for you. Or if it has a short cord, you're going to have to continually move it around your house. So you're giving specifications on tropes and genres and niches and things that people are going to like about the book, just like you would a product that is not a book. And that needs to flow into your TikTok content, your Amazon content, your Instagram content. Gemma thinks so as well. Sorry about that. And you have to make sure you're helping other people to make those decisions. That's what we're looking for. So if you're always just sitting there saying, well, I think this, and this is my opinion, and this is how I felt about it, that lowers your chance of being chosen for this kind of thing. You have to make sure that you are giving to your audience. You will like this if you're this kind of person, this is what you're going to like. Even if you don't like a book, you come in and you say, okay, this one wasn't for me. I didn't care for it. In fact, I wouldn't even say that. I would go, this one is going to have this, this, and this. If you don't like it, maybe this is not a good fit for you. It wasn't a good fit for me. Put yourself in the back seat. You want to be the last thing that we talk about in these conversations. And so when I write book reviews and as I teach people to write book reviews, even if you don't like something, doesn't matter what star level you give it, even if you don't like something, we're not coming in saying, I didn't like it, it wasn't good, blah, blah, blah. We are saying, hey, if you are expecting this, you're not going to get this. If you are looking for this, you are going to get this, and that's on you to then decide. So you want to make sure you are doing that in your content. Even if you didn't like it, you don't have to say, well, this is such a great book, even if you didn't like it. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying you're given a pros and cons list. If you like this, you're going to like it. If you don't like this, you're not going to like it. As simple as that. And so you're creating content that's going to help people make decisions. Authors and publishers are looking for content that will help make decisions to buy or to pass. We want polarizing content that allows people to make those decisions. Oh, that is an amazing book for me. I'm going to read that book. I don't really love some of those genres or some of those things that I can expect in this book. Maybe I'll pass on this one. Your goal is to make it as quick of a decision as possible. So give the valuable information and move forward with it. Have examples for us to see, and have those examples on your website as well so that we can see those, embed them, link them, whatever. We just need to easily be able to see that you are doing well. You can communicate well. You can have those conversations well. And then as soon as you start to do those reviews that are going to be sponsored deals, you need to let us know those things. Those things need to be your priority because we need to know the views you're getting, the engagement that you're getting, what's going on inside of the content you're creating for the people who have paid you. You're going to start out, of course, as doing things for trade because you can't immediately start off charging people unless you have a really good, really high engaged audience. If you're going at the beginning and you are building yourself up, you just have to know that you're working up the ladder, you're getting there. And so you're going to start by doing things for trade. You're going to start by, and it doesn't even have to be like product trade. You can work with other people. If you are somebody who is an aspiring author or you are an author or you're published, maybe you can swap with other people so that they can do work for you and you can do work for them, trading things so that we're not necessarily taking money, but we're all benefiting from things. And then do those examples. And as you grow, you can start to charge more and more. But keep in mind, the industry has shifted dramatically. So what you used to be able to charge several hundred, several thousand is now down to several hundred because there's so much competition, not only with BookTokers, but with other ways to run ads, with other places for us to have our books represented and to appear. So you have to understand that it's a different world. It's very, very different than what we've been teaching. It's very, very different than what it has been. It's very, very different than what you might have experienced even last year, even a few months ago. So drop your questions down below. Go check out that playlist. There's a full playlist of tutorials on how to be an influencer. I just kind of grazed across the top of this, but there's so much more that we can do, so much deeper that we can go. And like I said, I've been doing this profitably for many, many years now, and I'm more than happy to get your questions answered and to help you along on this journey as well, because a rising tide raises all ships, and I want you to succeed so that I can succeed, so that we can all succeed and we can all get books into readers' hands. So drop your questions and follow along for daily videos helping you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress, overwhelm, and time commitment on your social media content. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.